Fantastic. Here's what we're doing. We're going to build the builder. We're going to make Karifi, like get or concourse. We got to get something stood up so that we can do all the other automation. So that's what we're jumping into today. Building the builder. I don't have a plan really. We're going to do this. And yeah, the main thing here is I want to be available. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you've got questions, ask. I'm always comfortable being interrupted. But it's not interrupted. Like I'm here. I'm available. Like let's build something today. So I'm using Terraform, and yeah, things look like they're gonna work. So with Terraform, we do a Terraform apply, and the plan looked decent enough. So we're gonna auto approve, and what this is gonna do, I believe it's gonna stand up a kind instance, Kubernetes in Docker, running on the Docker instance. This is a Windows subsystem for Linux, WSL running on a different machine. And yeah, we're going to stand up a concourse. I had things in place on another environment, and I needed to move. So we're in the process of repaving the home lab, like setting up stuff. One of the ways that I learn is doing, building, and having things. So like this is the whole idea. Look at this. Hello, welcome. Glad to see you here. And yeah, this is what we're doing. We're just gonna build some stuff. This shouldn't take too long. So I just kicked off some Terraform. That Terraform is available. Let's bring that up where the Terraform lives. I think it's Cloud Pipelines Remix. This Terraform kind Karifi. This is what we're building right now. It's already 2 months old. It doesn't seem like it's that old, but this is what we're doing, and we're gonna see that it works. We're gonna stand it up, and the other thing is we're gonna make it accessible so you can see working. So part of what I like to do in the home lab is expose it, like let you play with it. So that's what we're doing. Having things in production is an important piece. So we're going to push it, make it live. If you would be so kind, look at this. Here we go. I got K3S working on a Raspberry Pi cluster hat. Thanks for the article. That's wonderful. So you're referring to, I assume, I have a blog. I have articles out there, and cluster hat is a nice. Oh, I happen to have one right here. It looks something like this. So the cluster hat is a board that you can attach to a Raspberry Pi 3, 4, 5. And on top of that, you can add some more Raspberry Pi. These are 02s. So these have the 4-core ARM64 processors. And yeah, you can make a little cluster. So if you're running K3S, you have a 5-node cluster that you can deploy Spring Boot, for example, native images with Spring Boot. You can run those. So you can do real things on a device like this that's like $150, even with the case and stuff. Not really expensive, and you can do some really interesting things. So congratulations on getting that to work. I would love to hear more. And if you have a blog or a GitHub, please share it in the comments. I'll put it up. I hope that the links work. But that's awesome. I'm glad that that's working for you. I'm in the process of repaving the home lab, redeploying all the machines, updating my automation where I was using, I was heavily using Rundeck. I'm still probably going to use Rundeck in a few cases, but I'm just switching it around. I have fun with Concourse. It's pretty. And I want to expose my Concourse to people to use. So yeah, I'm just trying to level up a little bit. But thanks for sharing. I really appreciate you, using the article. I'm glad that it was helpful and useful to you, because that's fun. That's fun. That's what brings me joy. That's why I like doing what I do. So I'm going to clean up some tabs while this is building. And what else are you working on? If you wouldn't mind, I was going to say, could you make sure, is my audio okay? I want the music to be just like in the background, cover up the dead space. But hopefully you can hear me okay. That would be wonderful. So I am cleaning up. I wanna build some things. In order to build some things, thank you. Oh, look at this. Oh. Awesome. This is wonderful, Benjamin. I'm excited. Start the day, or for me, it's the start of the day. I'm just trying to do stuff. I'm doing it in the open. Right now, we're just running Terraform. It doesn't look great, but hey, it finished. It works. And thank you so much, Pink Emma. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. I appreciate that. So now I ran some Terraform. Oh, and hey, I've just given you my my Vault client token, which probably not the best idea to do on the stream, right? But that's okay, right? We'll Terraform destroy. We'll get a new one later on. So Pink Emma, this is kind of par for the course, right? I come on and I do some stuff, and I give away my tokens. I think that's really the only reason that you're here, is because I do this quite often. It's silly. I should be better. I should be better. Especially, I should have known that when you show up, I need to lock down the tokens. That's the thing. I need to lock things down. So it's up. So what I expect is that if I do this Docker PS, that I have a kind instance running. There's my kind control plane, so that's good. And did I deploy anything on top of it? I deployed Vault. So it pulled down that. Did it deploy? Yes, it did. It also deployed Concourse, but it might have done the wrong address. So here's what we're gonna do: is we should have a Concourse external URL, and I wonder if I did that. Let's see if I cat the variables. Okay, so this is the external URL that it's looking for, and what we want to do is we want to now connect that. So this is my Windows machine over here, Windows subsystem for Linux. I want to make that exposed to you. Pink Emma, recently I did the Concourse and you had access, right? Yeah, we gave you access. That one's gone. So we're going to do that kind of same experiment, and we're going to have a different URL. So what we need to do here is I need to deploy the, I'm going to sneeze. I need to deploy my Cloudflare tunnel. Yes, Pink Emma comes for the tokens. Either I get free tokens or you learn to keep your tokens safe. It's a win-win. Like, yeah, absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. So now that we have this Terraform kind Karifi, that's deployed. It looks good, but what's not going to work is the URL is not going to work, right? Yes, live.nishran. Wait, no, concourse. Concourse.nishran.live will not work because there's nothing there. So what we have to do is we've now got to connect to our Cloudflare, our CDN, and we got to make that happen. So I think I have another repository. The whole idea is I want these things to be easy enough for you to go and do. So I try to put all the things in place so you can go and repeat it. So things are public. This is part of an exercise thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring back some of the easy, good concepts from an old project from my good friend Marcin, Cloud Pipelines. And I want to kind of revisit that. I used it a lot. I loved it. It was great. So I'm going to try to make it so I can redo some of the things I used to do. And so in order to do that, we're going to go in here. And I think if I do this, Terraform Cloudflare tunnel, if I do this, I think it will do the things. So let's go back here. Let's just put it on the same machine. Repo clone. Hopefully you can see that. Cloud Pipelines remix Terraform Cloudflare tunnel. Is that right? Terraform Cloudflare tunnel. All right, so now I have a local instance of that. And let's go into there. Let's cat that the variables. See what we need. It's looking for a kubeconfig, which we already have. And that's it. But I feel like it also needs Cloudflare off. Okay, tokens, right? So let's do this. Let's CP the Terraform kind Karifi.envrc to here. Let's look at that. I need something different. So we're gonna do this. Nope, I don't need anything else. I need tokens to get access to Cloudflare. So I'm gonna try to hide my tokens, and I think I have it over here in a token store. Cloudflare. I have an API key. It looks like it was updated. So I don't remember what the environment variable is supposed to be. So let's go look at Terraform. Terraform Cloudflare provider. Maybe I put it in the notes actually. Let's go back here and let's see if I put it in the notes. Provider. Did I give myself any notes? No, I did not. Shame on me. Yes, this is the right thing to do. Like I gotta learn my lesson at some point, right? So let's go back here to the Terraform Cloudflare provider, and what we want to look at in order to use this provider, it says, hey, do these things. We already have those things in place. Our version, my mouse has been acting funny. Our version says, just grab the latest version. When we do a Terraform init upgrade, we'll get the latest version of that provider. It could cause problems, but so here we can say like this, or there's an environment variable right here, Cloudflare API key. So we're going to do this. We're going to say Cloudflare API key. We're going to call this one Cloudflare API key. Put that into the environment. And then in my token store, which is Bitwarden, the name of that, I want to get the password for Cloudflare API key. All right, so now I want to allow that. This is dir-env. This will put those things into my environment. Big boy. So now it's going to go and it's going to grab that and say, hey, now in this environment, you have a Cloudflare API key. Cool. Now, I probably didn't do anything to hide that key, so it might show up on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, like, what could possibly go wrong, right? Oh, Terraform init upgrade. Like, get the latest version of things. All right, we got that. And then I'm going to do Terraform plan. Oh, I have a deprecated resource. Invalid provider config. All right, so I did something wrong. Let's go back and look here. And this is fine, right? Like we're going to, oh, I put API key. Which one am I doing? API keys are now considered legacies, so I think it's an API token. So I think I need this variable. So let's do that. Now, W this. Okay, we're just setting up my environment. Token. Dirb allow. Do the things. Big boy. All right, so now we'll try that again. Terraform plan to see if we're all set up right. And hey, like I said, I gotta learn my lesson at some point. So you be disappointed all you want. I'm gonna learn eventually here. So this I did not do something right. So we got to fix that. Unable to retrieve user details. So I'm doing something wrong. Error listing API. So maybe it is an API key. API key, API user service key. So do I also need Cloudflare email required when using API key? Okay. So I'll go back. I don't remember these things, but this is how I learned, right? So let's change this back to key, which it says right here in the name. I said it was key. Export Cloudflare email. Which one do I have here? Right. Equals Bitwarden to get username Cloudflare. That should be right. Boom. Wow. So unfortunately, my stuff. The big boy. This is it. It's just building the builder. We got to do things. All right, so I have more than one. I don't know. How do I see which ID? How do I see which ID I need to get? Maybe I rename it. Maybe I rename it. Or let's do this. I know what I'll do. Let's do this. And let's put this. Yeah. Let's save that. We're going to, I added a username. Hey, Mr. Phillipson, how are you doing? It's been a while. It has been. Good to see you. Yes, this is what I'm doing. It's Concourse. I'm getting into Concourse. So I know that you're a fan of Concourse, and I'm building the builder. So I'm creating automation that's going to allow me to stand up a kind cluster with Karifi and Concourse on it, and now I'm doing the part to make it available to everybody using a Cloudflare tunnel. So, good morning. I'm smiling now. Like, hey, we got Pink Emma and Chris. Like, this is quite the crowd. My coworker identified a problem with JDK 21 and a library today, so we have to fall back to JDK 17, and now all my nice, neat FFM functions and switching on instant types no longer works. But why? No. No, we need to fix this. I don't know what happened to my music, but we need to fix this. I want to know what happened. Let me see if I can fix my music. I don't know what happened there. Something went wrong displaying the web, like the website just like went bonkers. Oh, that's really loud. I'm guessing. There we go. All right, so we got music. Yeah, like Chris, yes, I'm glad you're here. Pink Emma, we can't go backwards. Like nobody wants to go back. and problems like I'm sure it's just like a library that was configured or compiled against an older version or something, and I'm sure it's something that we can work through. So let's. I'm happy to help. Like I want you to know, you don't have to wait until a live stream if you've got issues, and sometimes it's nice to have like an outside voice. That's me. Hi. Like you can always reach out. We'll have to wait until the next release before we can change the libraries, as we'll incur a lot of testing when we do. Oof. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. Well, I'm going to wish you luck on that. So what I did was I put in the email into a different, I added it to that same spot. So let's do this. So here, instead of doing from a different bucket, now I have a username in that bucket. During allow. Big boy. There we go. And hopefully we have, okay, good. Now, Terraform plan. Fingers crossed, like what could possibly go wrong? So we do have a deprecated resource, and Pink Emma, I'm gonna ask you, should I fix the deprecated resource or should I just go forward? So it's up to you. I'm gonna let you decide, and we'll figure out. Why is my mouse all jumpity? I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm not gonna do anything until you decide. Hello, I had a question related to querying database in Spring Boot Framework. Well, this is right up my alley. I would be happy to answer your question related to querying a database in Spring Boot Framework. Hey, go forward. This is a problem for future grunt. Good. Okay. So let's Terraform apply -auto-approve, right? Because everything looks like, approve. Because everything looks like it's going to work. We'll see if you already have a tunnel with this name. Deleting the existing tunnel. So, okay, I got to go and delete a tunnel. So let me go and do that. I don't know what that tunnel name would be, but let's go find out. So here's what happened there. I did a Terraform apply. I had Terraform state where I did this on another machine. I deleted that machine before doing the Terraform destroy. That would have destroyed the tunnel. So we got to go fix that. We got some stuff left over. So let's fix it. I'm going to do this on another screen. I'm going to have to get my passwords. Oh, I might have to go. I do. I've got to run and get my phone for my second factor. So talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, like I'll be right back. What I'll do I have like a I'll be right back screen or anything? I don't really. So yeah, you're just gonna have to hang out, and I'll be right back. But in the meantime, let's put this up there. How do you build dynamic queries that's dependent on conditions at runtime? Laravel. I use that work. You instantiate a new query builder and conditionally chain methods onto the builder. Can you do the same as Spring Boot? Hold that thought. I'll be right back, and we'll get to that. I'm gonna go get my two-factor off. All right, I have lots of stuff happening here. First of all, I want to, for the Home Lab Nerds, for Chris, look what I've got. I've got some NVMe drives, 2 terabyte NVMe drives that are going to go into my Cloud Foundry cluster, because now VMware vSphere 8 Update 3 has that tiered memory feature. So I can use an NVMe as part of my cluster's memory, and I can make that available to my VMs. So my 64 gig NUC can now have 2 terabytes of memory. I don't know what the number is. Maybe half gig or a half terabyte of memory. Like, we're gonna see what that looks like. But that's coming up later. But the NVMe's just got here, and I'm excited to do that. So we're gonna do this, building dynamic queries depending on conditions at runtime. So you have the ability in Spring Data. And let me ask you this. Let's say Termisoil. Which backend are you using? Which database, which driver? Because we're gonna go over here to spring.io. And when we go over here, we have Spring Data. And Spring Data has this concept of like repositories, and what you can do with these repositories is you can generate dynamic queries. So I'm gonna do Spring Data JPA, and I'm gonna go here into the documentation, and I'm gonna do this. Look for query, JPA, applying query hints. I think defining query methods. So we can do things like this. So I can have queries in place, and they can be whatever. So I can say, yeah, find distinct people, blah, blah. So I can do things without having to generate the SQL in order to do it. I can have my repository create these unique queries. That's one approach. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're trying to do, but this is an approach where you can define the query using this simple language to create those queries for you, and then have the JPA, in this case, do the dynamic building of the query. Does that help? Does this little cheat code, does that get you closer to what you're trying to do? Right, yes. So you can predefine that here on the repository to make all of those available. Does that work? Does that satisfy your needs? Or otherwise, like you're just saying, I want to just build a random query. Because you could just use, that doesn't seem very flexible, but I may be wrong. Like if you just want to use like straight SQL and build a random query, you can do that. Yeah, so you can use Spring Data. You can build up your own custom queries. But I'm gonna go over here because I don't do it Spring Data JPA very often, and I'll be honest, I don't use Spring Data JDBC as often. But Spring Data JDBC has the same repository functionality, but we can go take a peek here, and I want to do a custom query. No, yep. So we have this option where we can combine the results of different queries, but I don't think that's what you're looking for. I think I know. You want to be able to like select, if the user says person and order, you want to be able to do a select star from person where order, right? Let me take a peek here. No, not that. var builder, new builder with users if someone, some condition, builder with posts. I'm looking for something. So what you're doing here, yeah. So I'm gonna just ask you to try what we were looking at. Let's go back here. Let's go back. I want you to try with Spring Data JPA first, because as you're using Laravel, that's going to be the one that gives you the closest mapping to Laravel. So I want you to go to Spring Data, and I want you to start with Spring Data JPA. And this is that Hibernate like Laravel like ORM that will give you that repository support, right? Laravel repositories is that metaphor, that pattern is used in Laravel. And I want you to start with these. I want you to start by, in your repository, setting up those methods so you can have one for users and posts, and you can do the joining. But if that doesn't get you on the right track, if you spend too much time on that, I want to show you this. Hi, my name is Deshaun. I'm a Spring Developer Advocate, and that you're coming over from Laravel. Like, congratulations, you're on a new path, a new journey. But this is me. This is how you find me. And this little button right here, this little button has it has my calendar. So if you get stuck, all you gotta do is go to Deshaun.com and you click on this little calendar button, and then you can grab time. So don't get stuck. And good luck. Awesome. All right. That's the thing. Like that's what we're doing. We were building a Cloudflare tunnel. I have to go and fix it. I went to grab my phone so I can do my two-factor dance. And I gotta make sure I use the right phone. And I'm not missing any meetings. So let's make sure to plug in my phone after this. But let's see if we can get authenticated over here. Fantastic. All right, I'm in, and now I need to go and delete the tunnel. Let's see if I can find it. I bet it's this one. It says Karifi Cloudflare. I'll bet you that's the one. So let's delete that tunnel. And let's try it again. And let's hope that there's no secrets flying by the screen because Pink Emma's here. So yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get it. Because what we're hoping is that this is what we're trying to get, concourse.deshaun.live. We're expecting that to work. So, and once that goes, then we have some stuff. We have some teams set up. But where did I put that? I forget where I put all of that stuff. GitHub. Oh, yep, here it is. So I created, at some point, not too long ago, we did a stream and we had some friends show up. So here, I've got some Concourse pipeline examples, stuff that I've been doing. So we'll use that and we'll do the team config. And I think that I saved it. Yeah. So we can get, Deshaun demo. We can get Pink Emma access, and we can make sure that she can log in. Authenticating with GitHub is what we're doing on the back end. But this allows me, I can set up these pipelines and I can give access to you and to Pink Emma, and then we can go. The whole idea is I want this automation in place so that if Pink Emma decides to, do a git commit, that's the style that we want to live. We want to just do git commit. Nobody cares what happens after that. Like, check all the boxes. I don't want to know how to do all the things. I want to do git commit as a developer. I want to do git commit, and I want it to show up in production. I like validate it, do all the things, but I don't want to have to do any more than that. I want to do the development stuff. I want to do the code. And all the other stuff, I just want it handled by my platform. And I consider the path to production, the supply chain, I consider that part of the platform. It's a huge part of the platform. And I know that's a weird, we like to make a distinction there, but I don't. Like, that is a part of the platform. Let's go check our, all right, so we did something wrong. So deprecated, that's fine. Deprecated is fine. Expect the DNS record to not already be present, but it exists. Okay, so again, this is something where this, I feel like this should get created. So let's go and clean up our leftover mess. So there was a DNS record. Let me find it. There's a DNS record on Deshawn.live. Deshawn.live. DNS. Yeah. We want to delete that. So let's go and delete it. It was left over. It was something that I didn't Terraform destroy. And we want to fix that. So now, let's do Terraform destroy, and let's make sure we're doing everything. Clean up all the mess. Yeah, not this story. Let's clean up our mess. And then let's run it again. Now that we don't have a token or uh-oh. So I still need to have this. Why do I need that namespace? Let's go look at what it's doing. Why do I need to have a Deshawn-live names? I think that's where I was planning on deploying stuff. But let's go and look at what it's doing. Oh, is that where it's looking for the secrets? Yeah, that's where it's looking for its secrets. So it's supposed to do this in here. So what I need to do is there should be a namespace created somewhere. So let's do that real quick. Let's do it this way. Do I have the remoting stuff set up? Let me check to see if I can do remote development against let's check. If we can go to Thunder WSL. Let's see. Hey, that worked. So let's do that. So we want this one. And we're going to do this development on that machine. So I don't have to like commit and do things. Hey, I think I found what I was looking for here, the JPA specifications, and thanks for pointing me. in the right direction. You are very welcome, and I'm glad that you were able to, yeah, get unlocked and find a way forward. So thanks for hanging out. Like, that's fun. This is fun. Let's keep going. Like, people helping people. So now let's go grab this project directory from that machine, and we put things into our fun directory here, and we want this one. So now we're going to be making changes on that machine. It looks like it's going to set up the gateway on that machine. And then, yeah, we're just going to, on my Mac, we're going to be making changes to code that's on that Windows machine over there in the WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. Because we're going to fix this. All we need to do is add a namespace. So we'll make that a part of our Terraform. Now there's an interesting line between what do you do with Terraform and what do you do with something like Flux, where you have the continuous automation and the GitOps lifestyle. Like, where's the line at what do you put into your Kubernetes Terraform stuff versus what do you do with Flux? And we're going to be tackling that sometime. Because Terraform is great, but yeah. I heard a beep. You probably heard a beep too. I got to make sure that I'm not missing anything for work. I'm gonna. So yeah, oh wait, sorry, I'm answering another question. All right. Yeah, we're in good shape. So I like what I do. I love my job, and this is fun. This is me practicing, trying to be better at what I do. So the question I'm answering over here is SaaS. Like, what is SaaS? And so here's the question is like, what is SaaS? What makes something SaaS? If in my head, SaaS, software as a service, means like, hey, we're hosting it, we're running it, so you don't have to install anything. Like, you're accessing that software from your mobile or your web or your car or whatever it is. And the question is like, hey, if I create software and I make it available for download and you have to log in order to download it, does that make it SaaS? No. In my head, when I think of SaaS, it means you're running the infrastructure that's running and providing that service. You're doing all of the stuff needed in order to make that software run. Spring Framework is a framework built on top of Java, and you download the bits and you build your application. You build your thing with it, but there's nothing that's hosted for you or infrastructure that's running for you. You have to use it. It's a framework for you to build your own thing. So there's no SaaS component to Spring. Spring is open source, and there are, like, if you have a commercial agreement, you can get long-term support, and that long-term support gives you access to bits. Gives you access to jar files and stuff and recipes and that you can download and you can use, but it's not like hosted as a service that you're accessing those bits and you're doing things with those bits online. So that's the big difference. When I think of SaaS, that's what I think of. So my answer to the question is like, no, like what if I'm hosting jar files, that doesn't make it a SaaS service. But yeah, it's always good to review and revisit your assumptions, right? That make sure that we're all on the same page. So here I need to make a Kubernetes namespace. So let's do that real quick. Let's go here, and there's a Kubernetes provider for Terraform, so that when HashiCorp Kubernetes, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna use this one, and we're just gonna do a namespace. Kubernetes namespace. What's the difference between namespace and namespace v1? Okay. Example, namespace, annotations, label. Cool. That looks good. One of the things that I like to do, you'll notice, is when I deliver Terraform, I think the way that most of the community does things is they have like a main.tf, a variables.tf, and like a provider.tf. And then if you're looking for something, you've got to like scroll through the main.tf, and I don't like that much. So what I do is I make these files, and I build them based on the type, the resource. So I'm going to call this Kubernetes namespace.tf. New file, Kubernetes namespace.tf. So that as I'm doing things, you're coming into this repository, you're looking for like, oh, you can see exactly what's here, what's being generated, and when it comes time to go and look for the Kubernetes namespace, you know exactly where to go. So when there's a diff, it's not always in main.tf. If there's a diff in this repository, it's going to be on Kubernetes namespace.tf. So that gives me a little bit more context as to what was changed. So I'm going to just copy this, and we'll fill that in. And we're going to call this hello Sean-live. Do I want to install? Yeah, let's go ahead. Install Terraform in the plugin. It's fine. Sure. And the cool thing is we're installing this onto that Windows subsystem for Linux. We're doing this editing on another machine. Thank you, IntelliJ. Metadata. So the name is Sean-live. Do I need any metadata? I don't think I need labels, and I don't think I need annotations. I think it's just this. So the other cool thing about Terraform is I don't have to delete these things. I can go Terraform plan with that new file, and it'll say like, oh, I'm going to add this thing. So, and it's only going to add the things that are missing in order to check all the boxes. So it's going to add things. Let's do it. Terraform apply -auto approve. And we're good. So now we have things up and running. We have a namespace. That namespace is specifically for the secrets. And now I expect, maybe not right away, but I expect this URL to work. So it's not working yet, but let's give it a minute. Let's make sure that the tunnel gets set up, and it's got to connect. Oh, you know what I can do? I can go and I can peek at this. So I go QCTX. I have my kind Carife cluster that we're using. So let's do K9s. And we see this is all the stuff that's deployed onto this kind of cluster that we just did. I'm going to bump this down just a Tish, and hopefully that's not too hard to see. And I'm going to make sure I hit 0, so we show all the namespaces. And what I'm going to look for is there should be a Cloudflare, and maybe it's in, wait. I expected to see a Cloudflare D instance, and I don't. Why is that? All right, let's go peek here. What we expected was, oh, it set up the token, it set up the record, but it set up the tunnel, it set up the zones, and it set up the secret, but it didn't. It didn't deploy the Cloudflare D image. So I'm definitely missing some stuff here. Right? So it has all the secrets. Yeah, but it didn't deploy Cloudflare D. Like maybe this was like a halfway. Maybe I didn't finish this. And I didn't give myself any notes, which is kind of lame. So let's now watch this. Let's go and look. I should have something similar. If I go to GitHub, I have this other project over here, Sean Cloud, and I have a flux control. And apologies here. Right, you guys can hear the beeps. That's my teammates, and I want to keep my job. I really love what I do, so I'm going to make sure that my teammates are all good. Real quick. My friend Josh Long is going to be over in Europe. We call it EMEA. He's going to be in Europe for a few days, and yeah, I'm being asked if I'm going to be there. But my friend Josh is. So if he's already going to be there, like he knows all the things, right? I've learned so much from him. There's probably not a lot that I'm going to be doing that he cannot do. So hey, Josh, let's point our friend. Josh is going to be there. But of course, I'm happy, right? Yeah, Spring Gamma Java Zone is happening, and from what it looks like, it is jam-packed with amazing talks. All of the feedback is amazing. Lots of really cool stuff happening at Java Zone. So yeah, I'm missing. And Thomas is going to be there. Actually, Thomas I think presented this morning, like 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. So yeah, like things are happening. And here's the thing. Maybe this, like my mouse is not acting right. I'm gonna try something. The conferences, like that's part of my job. This is like hang out and do stuff at conferences. So yeah, I want to hear how things go. I want to do the things. I like speaking at conferences. It's always fun. But you know what else? I like going to conferences. And when there's a conference that I can afford to go to, that I want to go to, I'm going to go. So I know that I don't know everything, and I still have a ton to learn. But even in my role where I'm supposed to be teaching and and showing you things, like I still get tons of value from going to conferences and attending other people's sessions. There's not a better way to get the breadth of information in a one-stop shop. You bring your laptop, you're taking notes. You can go and talk to the speaker who has tons more information than the 40-50 minute session that they delivered, and you can ask specific questions. You can get your help. And the conference format is hard to beat. It's really, really hard to beat, because not just the interaction with the speaker, but also the rest of the community, right? The people that are sitting next to you, they are on a journey, right, that has them interested in at least the same session that you're attending, and you can have those types of interaction. This is how our ecosystem stays healthy and continues to grow. Conferences are a big part of that. So maybe you can't see my shirt. I'm a big fan of Cloud Foundry, and the Cloud Foundry sorry. I'm thinking about going to Cloud Foundry Day in Europe. So let's go take a look at those dates. Cloud Foundry Day, I think it's in Germany. Not 2023, Cloud Foundry Day Europe 2024. October 9th. October 9th in Karlsruhe, Germany. It's on my radar, where I would like to hang out with all my friends. I was at this event. I spoke at this event, but this is a conference where I love where this community is going. I'm a big fan of Cloud Foundry and what it does for developers and for orgs having a platform. And it very much relates to Concourse. Concourse, I think, was developed for Cloud Foundry platforms. So yeah, this is all interesting to me. So the question was like, hey, are you going to EMEA? Maybe. We'll see. I would like to go to this conference. So if I can go and work with customers or do another conference around this one, that would be awesome. But this is one of those conferences where I'm comfortable doing this on my own. This is a conference that I feel is super valuable, and that's what I would like to do. Hey, how are you? Yes, it has been a long time. So my year is interesting. I have an idea of what it looks like, but now that, I just got done with SpringOne and Explore. Now, what it looks like for the next couple of months is I'm going to be building things. I'm going to be building things and doing research on what's the current state. You have to be a continuous learner. So for me, right now, we're going to get back into the swing of things. And this, what we're doing here, this is just like random. There's no goal, there's no objective. But what you're going to see more of, and what I want you to do is, I want you to go over here, youtube.com, Coffee Software. This is, I'll be streaming on all the channels, but when I'm streaming over here, that's when I have like a purpose and I've got like a goal and I'm trying to do something interesting. So please, subscribe to all these channels. But this one, this is where the real stuff is going to happen. If I'm not streaming on this channel, that means like, we'll see what happens. Who knows? It could be just a mess. There's no schedule, there's no time, but ask questions. And as I get more comfortable, as I start to, get into a swing, a rhythm, then I'll be doing more stuff over here as well. But I want you to subscribe over here to Coffee Software. the channel that I'm doing with Josh Long, my friend, my hero, my comrade, colleague. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. So, we're cooking with gas right now. And I was saying, hey, in order to deploy, this mouse is bugging me. You see it jumping around? You have to. What I want to do is I want to take an example. Man, I got to switch out this mouse. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Oh boy, but I don't have a mouse. I don't have a. Let's go get one. I'm sorry. This is lame. But Maelstrom, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out. You know, as always, like when you come to my house for dinner, if you leave hungry, that's your fault. If you're here hanging out and you've got questions about anything, I might not have all the answers, but I would love to help out. And if you don't ask your questions, then that's your fault. So this is how I do things. You have questions. I'm happy to help. But this mouse is driving me nuts, bonkers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and order a new mouse. Does anybody have any recommendations? And I'm going to Amazon.com. I'm looking for, this is what I like. I like these. The thumb ones, so I don't have to move the things around. I like to do the thumb. That's my thing. But I want a wired one because I feel like maybe I got too much stuff happening right here, and that might be the problem. So let's go and get one of these. All right, we're gonna do a Logitech. What is it called? The thumball mouse. And they don't have any that are wired. Is that a thing? Is that why I got this one? They have to have one that's wired. This is lame. Wireless. Is there no such thing as a wired mouse anymore? Icon. Like, what is this? What is even happening here? I would like a thumb ball mouse, like this kind of thing, and they're all wireless. Why is that? I don't even understand. This doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it does. Maybe I already went down this track, and that's why I have a wireless one right now. But this is super annoying that my mouse is all like wonky. So I would like a wired one, and these are all wireless. Let's go to the source. I love the MX Master 2. MX Master 2 mouse? Is that a mouse? Okay. Is that what you're talking about? The Logitech MX Master. Ooh. I mean that looks fancy, but it's wireless. I'm not doing that. MX Anywhere for me. Pick up. So the MX series is a thing. Oh, MX Master 3. Like, okay. I mean, that's cool. But I want one of these. I want wired. Hello. Okay, wireless. Wireless. What do they call it? They call it a trackball. Let's do this. Here, first of all, I saw it said corded this. Are you serious? Oh. MX vertical. They don't have a corded thumb ball. What? What? Like, because this is annoying. Two. Hang on. Now, wait, is Icon not? Icon better be a moderator or I'm fully embarrassed. Give me one sec here. I have to do, because I do the streaming. This might be wonky for a sec. How do I do that? If I do / mods, I should see a list of mod. Oh, I'm not. I have to log in. Oh, now I got to do the whole dance. I'm figuring this out. Authenticator, two-factor. I'm not letting Pink Emma have these tokens. Let's see if we can get this. All right, so we're logging into Twitch over here on the other screen, and we're going to make sure I'm hitting /mods, and I should see a list. Oh, and Icon is not in that list. We need to fix that. So then if I do grant moderator, mod Icon 33. Boom, done. Here we go. This is good. This is good. This is good times. We're doing stuff. I feel better now. I feel like I've accomplished something. Hey, sword fight. Like that's cool. I like this. I don't like this. I don't like that I have a wired, can't get a wired mouse, but I probably already went down that path. So I'm gonna close a bunch of other windows because maybe it's just my computer's being lame. So let's go shut some stuff down. And while I do that, I'm going to ask a question. Has anybody ever used Gemfire? Gemfire is a very, very cool, interesting database, data store database that I first learned about like 15 years ago. And it does some really cool things. In memory, fast, all the good stuff. Now let me catch up. My mouse looks like it's acting better for the moment. But I'm gonna keep on closing some windows. I am building, I'm redoing the home lab, which you've probably heard me say many, many times, because that's my jam. I like to just like repave things and redo new stuff. VMware Explorer was last week, and there's a lot of cool stuff introduced. And one of those things was the ability to do this tiered memory approach. So my modest home lab, I can do some really interesting things now. It'll be a little bit slow in some cases, but it's going to work. That's the idea. So what I would like to do is deploy Cloud Foundry on a single node. I've got nodes that'll work. I've got new NVMe drives that I'm going to put in those nodes, and I'm going to use those NVMe drives as memory, as a tiered memory. So it's got 64 gigs of RAM, but the NVMe, 2 terabyte NVMe, I'm going to get to use that as memory to provide to the virtual machines that are running on the cluster. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. I feel a little bit better now. Now let's go see, what does it take to deploy my, it looks like I did it here. Oh, you know what I bet I did? I bet I just said, hey, once I have the Concord stuff set up, go and Flux bootstrap it. That makes sense, right? Get all the rest of it. Is that what I did? Let's go look and see. There's the kind Pariti. I'll bet you that's what I did. I'll bet you that's what I did. So what do I need to do here? What I need to do, let's see if we can do this real quick. Because that will deploy, go to Sean, Cloud, control, pull, have all those things. And then here's what we do. I should just have to do the bootstrap part, not that. This is all I should have to do. Do I have Flux? I do. So prove CTX-C, make sure I'm on the right one. Like, let's see if this works. Nelson says, by the way, I've been meaning to ask, what books do you usually read? Would love to get some recommendations. I'll be 100% honest, I don't read a lot of books. I listen to books. And, I had some bad credentials, meaning I don't have my GitHub user stuff set up. So let me not put tokens on the screen. Let me do this real quick and see if I have anything in place. See, that would have been tokens, Emma. They were right there. I said bad credentials. So let me do this GitHub token thing again. I'm going to update. And here's what I'll do it on the screen and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. The whole idea is to keep the tokens safe. So let's do this. Here's what we need to populate for my environment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my token store and I'm going to figure out where those are. Is it which one is it? Here we go. Here we go. Let me edit this and then let's do this. This is $BW get username for GitHub Sean-cloud flux control, and this one is $BW get password GitHub Sean cloud flux control. So let's fix that. Oh, let's go check. We all heard the beep. We got to make sure that we're not missing anything. Fantastic. Let's do this. BW sync. Let's get all the new information synchronized. And then, oh, there's one more piece I need to do. Cat fun cloud Terraform kind .avrc. I want to put this line in there so I don't have to log in every time. Boom. All right, so now if I do dir and allow, now it'll go and I say big boy. Put in the password to go and pull my token. So now I don't have secrets on my machine. They're all stored away and you have to know passwords and stuff to get into them. But I can have this file that says like, hey, these are the things I need. And even though it says like, hey, where it's stored, what bucket it's in, like I'm in a good spot. So now that I've got an environment that has my GitHub user and GitHub token in it, now I should be able to do this. Fingers crossed. What could possibly go wrong? Fantastic. It looks like we're working. So now it's using the Git repository, right? This cluster, this is the kind Karifi cluster. It's using this cluster. Inside of this cluster, we're saying, hey, again, store stuff as a Flux repository. That's what this is. But then I also say, there's a tenant. This is the system that I want deployed, and this is doing Deshaun-Live. And the way that Deshaun-Live works is down here in my tenants. My configuration is here in tenants, Deshaun Live. I've got that Cloudflare D. This is how it gets deployed. And I do the customization where I'm saying, hey, the RBAC and which repository we're going to sync with. And there we go, Cloudflare D. So now this repository that it's going to sync with, this is Deshaun Live. And it's doing Flux. I don't know if I want to do that. But we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Let's go see what that does. So the way that I have everything set up is I want orgs, right? Like when we deploy a big A app, everything is usually bundled together. So here there's a Flux and it's empty. So that's fine. So it's going to say, hey, there's nothing for me to deploy. There's no customization.yaml here, so it's not going to do anything, and that's okay. But this is the way I like to do things. You've seen Deshaun-demo has stuff. There's no Flux repo there, but we've got others. Java runt-com has a Flux repository, and it's got a bunch of things that it deploys. Right? So it's got a bunch of YAML. It's deploying YouTube listeners and gateways, all the stuff that we built on the stream. But this is an example of a way, but there's tons of ways to do this. But I want as much of the information that I use to deploy across all of this home lab infrastructure, I want as much of it in a Git repository as possible, period. So that if you decide you want to come and you want to play on my platform, all that you've got to do is create an org and kind of follow the conventions. And then in order to ride the ride, all you need to give me is a token, a personal access token that allows me to read your repositories. That's it. So then you can go ride the ride. So that all you have to do is do a git commit, and then I'm reading and I'm saying, oh wait, there's a change. Let me go deploy that for you. That's the idea. That's the power of a platform. That's what we want. Is I think when I talk to developers, they don't want to build Docker images. They don't want to be forced to use tools. They want to do git commit. So Maelstrom, you've been around. You're doing stuff. I have Raspberry Pis over here. I have Ampere compute over here, and I've got Nooks, and these Nooks are going to be using Cloud Foundry. So these pipelines that we're going to do, whenever you're ready with the stuff that you're working on, I would ask you to build a org, and we'll try it out, and I'll let you deploy onto my clusters. And should we be live now? No. What we did here was to deploy the Cloudflare D tunnel, the container that runs it. So now we should see a Cloudflare D here. There's Cloudflare D, and now it looks like it's running. So now we expect that this is going to work. Let's go look. I'm going to hit the one to see the head. So yeah, it's going. Enabling controllers. Serving it securely as TLS certificate data not provided. I'm in the wrong one. I want to be in this one. Here we go. We're good. We're running. We're connected. So now I do expect this to work. So an hour and 20 minutes to get through this, but it's Terraform. It's there. What's interesting, there's like some steps here that were kind of like out of order, because what we did was we ran this And then we ran this, but this was missing the namespace. What this did was it generated the DNS, it generated the secrets needed for a tunnel. It did all of that using Terraform. So when you do a Terraform destroy, then all of that stuff goes away. But the additional piece that it needed was this part. I needed my, no, not this part. I needed to deploy. I needed my, so this is where I drew the line of Terraform to deploy infrastructure and Flux, because I needed to generate secrets. I needed to generate DNS records. I needed to generate things on another service. And Flux doesn't give me a way to do that easily. So there's my line. Hey, stand up the cluster, give it the things that it needs in order to do its work, and then use Flux to keep it updated, to keep it secured, to have it sync with the repositories that all we have to do is git commit. So right now I'm good. What we also did here was we set up this Concourse instance to be backed by GitHub. So now I'm logged in. That's my GitHub username. I was already logged into GitHub, right over here. So when I hit the login button, it said, hey, cool, you're already logged in. And now I can see I've got some groups here. So let's go one step further. Because remember, we're building the builder. There's the underlying stuff. I have these pipelines over here, and I want to build my teams. So let's build one for Deshaun Dash Live. Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to do a quick demo and make sure things are working? I think that's what I really want to do. So let's do this. For our conference last week, well, where is that? It's on, I took a different machine to the conference, so let me go over there. And let's go to this other machine. And let's just get the demo that we did last week, because that was like a good place to start. And let me do this. Let's see if we can get that demo to work on this newly created Kubernetes cluster with Karithi and Concourse and Vault. There's a Vault store there too. Let's see if we can get this working. So let me just find it. So let's do it on the screen. So let me make sure there's no passwords. Oh, so that was set up with different infrastructure. So we're gonna have to make some changes. All right, so our cluster is working. We're in good shape here. Let's do this. Let's go to another machine. Hopefully, let's go over to this machine that I took to the conference last week. And let's go into that demo. Big boy. And let's see what we have here. So we're gonna take a peek here. It's going in, grabbing passwords, and I don't know why it's doing this. So now we have our stuff. We have tokens for a PR, and we're gonna do a quick demo because this is interesting. But let's look at the demo script and let's see, because when we log into this repo, I need to change this because we're not connecting to the Spring One system. We'll call this Concourse Live, I guess. But I'd really like, let's do it this way. Let's do, I don't remember the command, so let's go over here. And we're going to use the Spring One label real quick. Concourse-ci.org. This is the tool that we're using. And we would do the quick start. We're not doing the quick start, but we did all these things. And this is what I wanted to remember. It's, oh, am I going to be able to do this? So we're going to do this. And we're going to say, we're going to call it Spring One. All right, Spring One. Login, but the URL is this. Concourse.deshawn.live. Oh, and also, right, you can go and log in here. So you can go, but you won't have any team. So let me go and do this real quick. I want to make sure that I'm not being confused. So I need a way to deploy these pipelines. So now that I'm building in the builder, I want to go from here where I've got Jenkins or Concourse set up. I want it to automatically be set up with configuration. How do you do that? I want to make this automated. I want to do this. So maybe that's the important part that we get done today, is make it so that, hey, these are the orgs that are in my pipeline that get to play in my platform. So I want to deploy these things automatically. And how do I do that? I know how to do that. So let's start here. Let's do this. We're going to build a demo. We're going to make sure that things are connected. And what this is going to do, it's going to say, hey, like, you can do that, but I want you to go and log in. So that's cool. I can go over here and log in, and it says, oh yeah, cool. So I can copy this token and I can paste it here. And now, cool, I've got a target. Now I'm connected to that concourse with the Fly CLI. Now, let me do this. I think I can comment out this part. I don't need this one. I'm already logged in. And let's see if this works. It's gonna go clean up stuff, which should pass because there's nothing there. Oh, it's also forking a repository because we're gonna do some interesting things. Uh-oh, let's stop. What happened? It said, must have admin rights. You must be logged in. So on this machine, I wasn't logged in, apparently. So let's do this. GitHub auth login. We're gonna log in here. And this is where I'm going to slide over, Emma. We're gonna do this. And upload, no. Log in with a web browser, yes. So I copy this. And then I go to here and I hit the button. It says, yes, I would like to log in. And then I say, zoink. And I'm saying, hey, I'm logging in with the GitHub CLI. I'm putting in passwords and stuff. But that's the whole idea. We want to be secure. So now I'm logged in and it says, hey, you're already logged into this account. History, type, rep, gh. There's one more thing I need to do, I think. I think there's a command where I need to give it delete access. Like I need to give it one more piece. But let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's see what happens. That looks like, nope, 403. Must have admin rights. Oh, right here. This operation needs this one. So this is what I needed to run. Hello. Oh, that mouse is so annoying. I don't understand why it's doing that. Please. This is painful. All right. Hello. This is what I need to do. Let's get that additional config. Let's copy this. It's going to open up on the other screen, on the other machine. So now I'm just clicking through. This says, hey, yep, here's my token. It's me. It's me. And then I go down and say, yes, go ahead and do that. Authorize it. And then it says, hey, you're all set. Authorization complete. Now, demo.sh. And we don't see the 403. It's deleting. Would you like to clone the fork? No, because we're going to do this all in my CI process. We're going to do it all in Concourse. I don't need that repository locally. So it's doing things, and there's all the tokens. Unbelievable. Emma, come on. Come on. It's all because Pink Emma's here. It always happens when Pink Emma. Here's the thing. I was doing a demo. I wasn't planning on doing this on the live stream, but now I got to go in and regenerate a token real quick. Always. It always happens like this. So I got to go in. Where are my settings? Down to developer settings, personal access tokens that I don't want Pink Emma to have. Which one is it? I can find out here by doing cat.envrc. It's this. Yeah, it's this one. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to that token and I'm going to log in and I'm going to regenerate the token. Oop. Now here's the cool thing is I hit the regenerate token button. If I can get my mouse to work, I'm going to hit the regenerate token button. So I have a new token. I'm going to have it expire in 60 days. Regenerate token. I copy that token and I close this window and I put that token into my token store so that everywhere that I use that token on all the systems, they're just going and they're, oh, here's the current version of that token. I don't have to copy and paste it to a bunch of machines. I put it into one spot. And token demo. And I just go update that one. I hit the edit button, do this, and I paste it there, and then I hit save. And then what I need to do is BW sync. So it's going to synchronize all the stuff. And then I have to do dir env allow. So I can go get that new value. And then this time when I run the demo, I need to not do it on screen. Because that token that we just deployed, that's not valid anymore. So we've got to delete things and we got to give it a new value. But what we're going to do is we're going to do it where Pink Emma can't see it. So let's slide that over here. Let's do demo. And it's going to recopy, restuff. It's starting us from scratch. It's also deleting pipelines. And I don't want to clone the fork. And there goes the new token value that Pingama cannot see. But now it says invalid pipeline config. Okay. Because we're using a new concourse, in order to use these pipelines, I was using an experimental feature, this across step feature. So let's go look. I have work to do, but the cool thing is I can destroy things and then stand it up again, and we're in good shape. Because now we have things in a Git repo. We can go for it. So we need the across step. It's experimental. We need this. You must set the feature flag concourse enable across step. So let's go. Not this one. Let's open another one. Let's go to this one, and we're going to add another. We're going to reach out to that other machine, and we want to do development in another project. So this is right. We're going to go down to Fun, Cloud Pipelines Remix, and we're going to mess with this one because it's this. See, now this seems like it's a Helm chart. This seems like something that should be not in this part of it. Concourse, the concourse deployment, I don't think should be part of my Terraform. I think the concourse deployment should move over to my GitOps, my Flux GitOps. Because like I'm a developer. Hey, here's my cluster. I don't want to have to get the infrastructure reset up, and man, this mouse is annoying. So let's do this. What could possibly be giving this mouse all the fits? I'm wondering if it's this hub. Like, is there anything I can unplug from it? Or turn off, maybe? Let's see if I can unplug some of these things. My USB hub. All right, we're here. We're in the wrong one. Where did it go? Here's where I want to go. And the config, I'm convinced right now that I don't want this config in my Terraform. But this is where it's at now. And as part of this Helm release, so here's Concourse, and this Concourse has some of these properties set. So what do I need to do here? These are Helm properties. So I have to set this feature flag, but there's another way. Let's go take a look at the Concourse Helm chart. And in there, we have this values YAML. And let's look for across. Enable across step. So it's just concourse web enable across step. That's the value that I need to change. So let's go back here. Right. Let's put it right here. Set name equals concourse web enable across step. Is that right? Yep. And we're going to set that to true. So I think that if I Terraform apply this, I think because I have a new value, I think it'll do this. But let's go check. And the other thing I want to do is here. Remember, I added the namespace so that it could set up all of these things. I need these things. Yeah, this should be here. So I like where this is at. I want to have the namespace for the tunnel. I want to let that be created dynamically as a part of Terraform, so I don't have to like reuse my secrets. So here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to commit this change because I like this change. I think this is in the right spot. And yeah, I'm going to commit this change. Add. So when I do this commit, there's nothing watching this repository. It's not going to do anything interesting, but let's just forward that. So now those changes are done. I'm done with this repo. So I'm good. And my music is stopped. I don't even know if you guys can hear that, but I like to have a little bit of music. It is too quiet in here otherwise, which is not my jam. Like a little bit of background noise. So I'm gonna go and play this playlist again, if you don't mind. And while I do that, I'm going to peek over here at my calendar, make sure I'm not missing any meetings real quick, because sometimes time gets away from me and I'm missing a meeting. Oh, sorry. I'm missing a meeting. Corby, I'm very, very happy that you're here. I'm gonna pick up right from here, but I am missing another meeting. So I'm gonna jump over to that and I'll be back in about 50 minutes or less. So thanks for coming, and maybe we'll see you again soon.